Hi everyone, Messy Coder back again with another game dev interview. This time we're talking to 3DForge, the creators of the Village Interior and the Village Exterior kits. Those huge behemoth packs. I think they've got 8,000 prefabs between the two of them. That's just massive. And this interview is taken from a live stream that we did on Twitch. That's right, we're on Twitch talking to people, having fun and playing games. So if you want to come on Twitch and chat with us in real time and talk with people like 3DForge and all these wonderful people that we talk to, then come over to allthews.twitch.tv/themessycoder. Sit back, enjoy, put your feet up, grab a bottle of mead, and I'll see you in a moment. Just before I start, to remind you, this is taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/themessycoder. Every Friday and Saturday, I do a massive stream on Twitch. Sometimes we interview people, sometimes we give away stuff for free, sometimes we do a tutorial. Many times we play games, have a laugh, and just giggle about. I'm still uploading videos on YouTube, so don't worry, we've still got the FPS face-off, asset reviews, Ultimate Survival tutorials, many more stuff. But for now, I'm going to be quiet and hand back over to myself interviewing 3DForge. Let me just pick up Village Interior's kit as an example. Okay, I'm just going to load this up on my screen so everyone can see it.
Okay.
When you started this, when you first released this kit, how much stuff did it have in it?
It had just over 1,000 assets in it. And the package was actually, the idea came from one of the users that said that current dungeon kits that he had, or interior kits, the simple thing, they did not have windows. And he was looking for something, a package that actually have windows, and you can add windows to stuff so that it's not just underground dungeony kind of scenes, but houses and taverns and normal buildings that sits above ground. And yeah, that's where it started from.
So you went from about 1,000 prefabs, and now we're at 2,826 prefabs on just the interiors kit alone, according to the screenshot.
Package grows, I just keep on updating the prefab count and the mesh count.
I mean, other people would normally just sit and they would make a new version. They would say, okay, Asset Interiors Kit 1, Asset Interiors Kit 2, and then you'd get twice as much money. But you seem to have a bit of a strange love for the community in that you keep on expanding the same pack. So whoever's bought your kit can just keep on updating it for free and get load more prefabs. As a customer, I have to say, I really appreciate that because you're constantly updating your stuff. But if I was your bank manager, I would be slapping you.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I always look at everything that I do with the packages and the way I treat customers and all of that as how would I like to be treated if I was the customer. And I don't expect things just for free all of the time. It's true what you're saying. A lot of people do charge and bring out other versions and break it up into more packages. Sometimes I can kick myself for it, but seeing the nice reviews and the happiness of the customers and the loyalty of customers, that's something that I would rather like to grow in this fashion. Now that video was done for me by one of the users that actually is a demo for a game. Basically, only the characters in there and the sound is not what comes with the package. Everything else that you see is standard with the package.
So, do you want to just explain the blueprint system to people, because it is amazingly powerful?
Yes, it's basically, it's a cool word for prefab. The blueprint package, if you look at the Sword and Shield in, it's basically all the prefabs put together, and I export it and I just uncheck all dependencies. So you get a tiny file, but it's actually like a recipe basically for the whole thing. So if you have the correct packages, in this case the interiors and exteriors kit, because the Sword and Shield in package includes both interior and exterior. If you only have the one package, the data will still load up, but it will only show whichever package you do have, so either the interiors or exteriors. And the idea was to share creativity. Users can share. I can make blueprints and output it and share with other people. I do have future plans of actually selling packages of bundles where it's a whole collection of thematic, like say a whole collection of houses for a village, a couple of churches, a couple of shops, a couple of dungeons. So it will be like an adventure pack of blueprints, and you can download it and it's ready to use. Just the scenes as the demo scenes, the 25 demo scenes that comes with the interiors kit. It will be similar, ready to use contents.
That's pretty damn amazing, man. I mean, even just like after being a customer, they sit there playing about and they could go onto your website and download blueprints, submit blueprints other people can download, like the blueprint community.
Yes, there's 276 blueprints already available on my website, and yeah, those are free if you have the contents that will enable them to be showing. You can just go and grab and download it, and they're there.
So I've managed to finish importing these two huge packs that are the fantasy interior and the fantasy exterior packs. Let's load up 1, 2, 3. Is that 1, 2, 3?
Now, 1, 2, 3 is just a step by step. That's
All right.
just to show how it works. A little bit of a trick, just to initially realize is that the walls sit on top of the floors. I think that would be the question that I get most from people when they say the walls doesn't fit, I've made the kit wrong. Then I assist them on Skype or whatever, and I show them where the walls sit on top of the floor. So your interior module sizes are 2.5 by 2.5 by 3. So if you put them outside the floors and try to clip and snap them on the outside, you get away from that modular size.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, 1 second. I've just got a load of messages.
Because when you go to your exteriors kit and you got those white core blocks that represent your interiors kit modular blocks, those blocks, the core blocks, are also 2.5 by 2.5 by 3.
And that's the nice thing about getting your both your kits is that they're made to work lovely together. I mean, the sizes and everything. Oh. Let me put that main camera on.
Yeah, I actually did not plan initially to have a exteriors kit. I just did the interiors kit, and luckily I kept to a nice strict modular design method that made it easy to have exteriors work and snap on exactly. The whole idea is, I mean, it's nice to some people have the hardware and design of having a seamless entry into houses and exits. I just try to keep it separate so that people can decide themselves and manage if they want to have that or no different scenes.
Here I am inside the which one is this? This is the old basement.
Yes, I wanted to. It's a house with a basement downstairs. Just wanted to give an idea or showcase a method of actually having a basement underneath the house.
Is this available as a blueprint as well? So it's like people that have gone out and made different types of basements.
Well, then it's very easy. You just choose the data in the scene and export it, and just uncheck the dependencies, so it wouldn't send with the mesh data or the texture data. So the file is going to be a couple of kilobytes. It's not going to be big at all.
That's nice.
And then you're not sharing anything that's actually copyrighted. You're not sharing the textures. You're not sharing the mesh. You're just sharing an idea.
Let's pop into a big one. What's a nice big one that we've got?
That one, the crypt.
Which one? The catacombs.
Yeah, that's one.
We've got two files. FPS.
One is a FPS and one is a top down. Exactly the same data. That's the other thing that's nice. I don't sell separate packages where if you want to use it for top down, you have to buy this one. If you want to use it for FPS, you have to buy that one. It's exactly the same, but just excluded the ceilings and some top data that you don't need on the other scene.
Let's drop in this control and run around. It'd be nice if I actually chose the scene and not the game view. My mouse is struggling at the moment. I think my computer got upset that I decided to rearrange my desk. It hasn't forgiven me. The other thing I love about your stuff is that if anyone looks at on the right hand side of my screen, they can see the camera. There's no special effects applied post-processing. Nothing whatsoever.
No, I try to stay away from that. I don't want to have. I don't like buying something and I open it up and I see that the person did lots of things that make it look artificial and fake, and I
Exactly.
can't achieve that. I want to give the this is vanilla out the box Unity.
And this is what I love about this stuff, is that that's also the thing that grapes me. And if anyone watches my videos, they know that whenever I load up a demo scene and someone's got those effects, I'd say, oh, this looks nice, let's turn it off and see how it looks. So here we are inside the crypt. One thing first, also people will know that I hate that footsteps. Let's turn down the footsteps. And also, look everyone, I'm in the dark theme. The dark theme's lovely. Oh, should we see if there's any missing colliders? Let's see if there's any missing colliders.
There's colliders on most.
Oh, look, there's a collider. You're lucky. You're lucky.
Always see that in your reviews. That's something that bugs you.
Well, I'd Cincy Studios.
I try to put them sensible. I don't want to put it on every little thing. That's my doors, for instance. Also, the doors in all my kits are bigger than normal doors. Stuff like that. Just I don't want to ruin the game experience. You don't want to get stuck on every little thing with colliders, but there must be logic in having fair-sized objects not be possible. Otherwise, it just also takes away from the reality. You don't want to just walk through everything.
This is not PBR, but to be honest, I didn't even notice. The textures are lovely.
I like them too.
Well, you have to say that.
I'm supposed to like them.
Although, to be fair, many times, the artist is the harshest critic. Oh, thanks for the follow, MMP3N. Yeah, great question, Mark. How long did it take you to create this scene, to put it all together?
Not that long. Actually, I think it's because I know the kits and I designed it. It goes fairly quick. And if you just take I like to work organized. If you look at all my scenes on the left-hand side, I like keeping things organized. And initially, I bought some kits. I buy kits myself, other people's packages to learn from. And sometimes you open it up and it's just this giant list of stuff. Where if you look at my scenes, they're really well organized. I try to keep it that way. I hope it sets an example for some people even to work like that, because it just really helps to manage things and see what's what and switch things on and off. So it doesn't take that long. I open up a scene and start to build the shell and then add things according to a system and just add them and then populate with smaller and smaller props until I'm happy.
To be fair, you do have beautifully clean structure in all your projects. It is something that, and you're not the only one who appreciates that. A lot of people in chat will say as well, is that when you've got an asset and you've imported it into your existing project that you're running, if it's not cleanly organized, it just ruins everything. You spend more time going through folders trying to find stuff than you do even using the kit. What do you use? Do you use like an asset to help you place everything, like a grid system, Pro Tools or something?
I use the Progrits. That's what I use for most of the time to get things to snap together, and my finger lives on vertex snapping. That's one of the things I use most through everything that I do in Unity. Just vertex snapping things onto each other, keeping things organized, exact matching and stuff like that.
Just want to say, shout out to Gigabell for the follow, another person on the forums who does a lot of work helping other people in the communities. Thanks for dropping by and thanks for the follow. Aries the Dog Studio says, it's not just an example, it's the standard everyone should follow. It's very true. It is the standard that everyone should follow. And Kiwi Hawk says, Messi, do a poll. See how many users would do PBR to how many users would do PBR to upload for these? So a poll to see how many people want to have a PBR. I think everyone in chat would be happy for PBR of these to throw money, 3DForge's
Yes,
money.
it's just Progrits. That you're asking about the Progrit. Just a small little tool that just works really easy.
Apart from ProGrids, what else are you using of these little tools from the asset store to help you help your workflow?
in building scenes, it's basically progress. So it's what I use. Just that. I just want the snapping to happen, just accurate. I don't want to sit and have little gaps when you play the level now, have light peeking through corners and stuff. Because that's something else as well. When things don't fit well, you see demo scenes and it just looks bad. It takes away from the immersion.
Oh,
Are you looking for little? Maybe there is some that I don't know about any.
I was trying to see if there was a collider on that vase.
Oh, that's okay. Sure.
Sorry about that, bud. It's part of what I do. I break things. That's what I enjoy doing. My immersion. All right. So I love this scene. I really do. I can't believe this didn't take you long to put together.
It takes I would say about a day and a half to do this. Normal hours.
Oh, I love that.
Day and a half.
That is lovely. There was one scene. I loved the scene with all the food. Which one was that?
It's a castle scene.
That's the castle. That's right, isn't it? Let's go. And also your cathedral was lovely as well.
Yes, I love doing that. That's actually something. It was a user. He's a publisher now. He wasn't a publisher at that time. The publisher does quite a lot of special effects called Neatwolf. I don't know if you know Neatwolf. He does lots of effects, and he helped me with some of the particle effects. His name is Alessandro, and that's actually why the cathedral's name is Saint Alessandro. I asked him if I can use if I can use his name just as a thank you.
Cool. I've turned off the protection for the links. So, mate, if you want to put a link to your the saint of your effects, Alessandro, in the chat, if you still have the Twitch window open, 3DForge, if you want to stick it in there.
What do I need to do for you? Sorry.
If you want to spam your friend's asset store link for people to see.
Absolutely, I'll quickly grab it.
If you a bit of sharing the love. Not only do you
he's really helpful, and I like the more people that are successful on the asset stores, publishers, the better for everybody, for the publishers, for the users. So I don't mind at all. Looking for it.
Here we go. I love this. There's a few different scenes that you get of this castle one. I love your cobwebs. Also, I love all these little touches that you provide.
There's Neatwolf's publisher page.
Here you go, everyone. I want to see some stairs. Here's the staircase here. Oh, books. Oh, I love a bookcase. I do love a bookcase. And what's your wood like? Everyone knows I love a good bit of wood. And your wood's alright. Obviously, we could do with higher res textures.
Just a little thing there, if you look at those bookcases.
Oh, sorry, mate, I just got distracted with this scroll here. Let's go back to the bookcase. Yep, sorry.
If you stand in front of the bookcase, I've done quite a bit where look at that middle, the second one from the top. No, look at the bookcase from the front.
This one here, like this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, there's one book missing there. I did that specifically so you can look and search and put a loose book in there and pick it out. Like for quest items and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
I'll give you all lots of single books and then lots of clusters like that.
Are you listening to that, boys and girls? And look at this. I want to sit and read this book here. Is that a bit of Leonardo da Vinci, I see?
Yeah, possibly. He can't sue me for copyright.
And I love your doors. What I'd like to see is stick this because the thing is that your stuff is so well optimized, and it's proper low poly optimized but still good quality. But occasionally I just want to look at a little bit more detail on the models. So
yes.
have you thought about doing like a high poly pack?
I haven't thought about it. I am actually busy on one.
Tell us more, please. Tell us more of what secrets you have. Come on.
No, I'll reveal as soon as I have stuff to show.
Oh, you've
But
got
I'm
us all
definitely
excited now.
working on higher quality medieval assets.
Are these with PBR?
Yes, definitely. No, no.
Oh,
All my future work will be.
guys, are you listening? Are you listening? Are you excited as I
No,
am?
I have to.
Oh, okay. Talking about releasing deadlines and stuff. Um,
Yes.
are you, what are your views on early announcements?
Um, it's really important, I think, to build a healthy bit of hype on releasing stuff in the asset store. I showed the interiors kit and the exteriors kit quite a bit in advance of releasing it. I think it's really essential that you try to, at launch, have a big bang of sales to help cement down and just put a good foundation on a package that is of good quality. I've seen lots of good packs where publishers put a package on the asset store and they think it magically is just going to sell. You need to do marketing, and you need to do the marketing, and the awareness of the product is more work actually than I think than the actual work on a package. And people would easily want to blame somebody else or blame the asset store, or blame Unity or whatever, and say, "Wow, this is not successful." But it's lots of work. So I think to not announce too early, because I've seen things where you would show stuff and other people have shown stuff, and then you get a quick hashed copy of that asset same time or very soon after release, and kind of the person piggybacking off the other guy's good ideas. So I wouldn't want to show stuff or say stuff too soon.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't make sense to do it. You're going to lose out on sales and your own drive that you have and your own ideas to monetize from those ideas.
Yeah, there's like a good example is the whole poly explosion that's going on at the moment. So we had Cinti Studios. We've got a few others who are making the same kind of low poly style, and there's actually
Yes.
a couple of like near identical poly assets as well. So there's a couple of Wild West poly packs out there, and I think Cinti are the only ones who are doing the actual city style. And they've got like the pirates, and they've
Yeah.
got the city, and they seem
Well,
to be.
a good example is they recently released that World War II package.
Yeah,
And
I
about
want that.
5 days before their pack came out, another package came out that even used the name Polygon as the start of the name. And it had extremely similar stuff that they released. So, I don't know. It's not a nice situation if you're working on something for a long time and you announce it a little bit too soon, giving other people a window period to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, it is a hazard path to follow. I mean,
It's difficult because you want to tell the users and show the users what you've got. You've worked on it lots, you're excited yourself, but it's really difficult. You don't want to put all that effort in and then you get nailed by somebody else. It's actually when I brought out the interiors kit, I was busy working on it, and I was having a chat with Michael O. Um, and you know that it's Michael O from
yep.
K4. I was chatting with him, and he asked me what am I busy working on, and I showed him what I was working on, and then he said, "No, no, 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 this is not cool," because he was working on his hand painted interiors package at that time.
Oh dear.
So, so he actually, through the chatting back and forth, I was very close to release, and he was still far from release. So he held back a bit on his, and he said, "No, no, he's going to finish another project that he's got. He doesn't. There's no purpose of releasing it at the same time or
Yeah.
close to mine. Then it just looks like one person is copying another one,
So
although we
it's always
independently
good.
worked on the same stuff."
Well, that's a strange. I mean, there's a lot of times in history you see of famous inventions that were all made around the same time, but independently.
I think
Just
as research on the asset store, browsing and checking what's necessary, I read a lot of reviews on packages and try to get into the minds of and de- determine what the needs of the users are as close as you can. And I'm sure he does the same. And yeah, we obviously just got the same idea of an interior type setup could possibly sell and be worth it.
I need to. I keep, guys. I do apologize that I do get distracted sometimes when I'm chatting, so I miss the chat a little bit. So I'm just gonna, while I look at this little scene here, I'm just gonna scroll up and just check out chat and see. Um, so we've got pro tip: no one enter the village internal exteriors kit raffles. That way I can win it. That's a good point, and that's a point because very shortly we're going to give away one of these because we've been chatting for a little bit. We just got carried away having a chat, and we forgot we're here for a raffle as well.
And say to that one user, they asked something about if there's any post-processing effects here, but like you said earlier, there's absolutely nothing.
Exactly. I mean, 3DForge, you're going to see no post-processing. What you see is what you get, and that's what's refreshing about this stuff, that you don't have to go in and turn it off. And that's the annoying thing. When you look at the screenshots in the asset store, a lot of people, they do like to tweak about and put the effects. And I've actually had a few cases where I've had a few stern words that there's no way that I could reproduce the pictures that were put on the asset store.
Absolutely. I don't Photoshop the stuff. I take it, I crop it, I make it smaller or bigger, and that's it.
Or we should have Winterbite here. All this talks of deadlines. Yeah, but not as like a way to tell anyone off. It's basically a learning curve for people, especially when you're making your first asset on the asset store, something as huge as Ultimate Survival. It's easy to make mistakes and basically to get sometimes a little bit lost when working on basically QA, task management, scope creep, all these, getting a bit overexcited with everyone posting in their requests. And I'm sure 3DForge has had the same problem in the past where something's so popular, you get people requesting new features and you want to please everyone, so you rush off to try and make these new features and then you get distracted from the original targets.
Well, that's where many of the deadline updates came from. Lots of feedback from customers that they want. But like you're saying, you must keep a balance between what you can do in it, and I try to please everybody. It's a weakness of mine, but it's nice getting the feedback from the customers. And if you assist customers, and I try to do what I can do, you build a loyal customer base. So it's important. There's absolutely no way you're going to survive on an asset store if you just take money and grab and run away and don't bother about what they say and feedback. You obviously cannot do everything that everybody wants, and you try to handle it case by case and just be realistic about it. And I've never had customers be upset or anything if I say I can't do this or I can't do that. They are grateful for the extras and extras and extras that I have given in the past.
There's no colliders. There's no colliders on this table. Mate. Oh, my immersion's gone. There's no collider. I'm turning off. Interview over. Raffles cancelled. No collider. I'm only joking. I shall load up the exteriors because I love that pack.
Oh, but that's what's nice about it. They work together very well, but they're both really completely standalone. You don't need to. I'm not trying to force you or make you buy the one because of the other. They're completely standalone, and you can enjoy both as a separate purchase.
Let's chuck in control and run around the outside of this. Let's turn off the main camera. Once again, everyone, there are no special effects, post-processing effects or anything on here. What you see is what you get. It's beautiful. It's just the artist representing the work that he's done.
But this one is nice. It's obviously because it's just X series, you're not going to be able to run down into the basement. But the idea with this is that you push with the Unity terrain, you chop away the basement, which is something I thought at the time that I did it was quite unique. Other packages didn't have it. And it's something that's in many movies and such kind of things. They have basements or attics, stuff like that.
So I can now just plug in the basement from the other one and away I go.
No. But there is actually a web demo on the exteriors kit. You can see the floor being pushed away when you can access you kind of intersecting into the terrain. But there's no tricks or anything, it's just the terrain physically just pushed down. So you can use the interiors kit to flesh out and populate that bottom. And yeah, you can walk upstairs up into the unit and have a basement area. If I can just mention something specific about the scene and one of the features of the package, the exteriors kit comes with solid walls with windows that clip on or snap on, or windows that's part of it. And then you also get this one specifically, this demo, you can see you've got proper see-through translucent windows. So if you've got interiors, you can look from the outside into the building or from the inside out. So you've got many different options of window functionality that I've added. You don't just, but that's all dependent on what hardware market or you're aiming for. You don't want to have to be forced to use that, and then things run slow on lower end machines. But if your machine obviously can handle it, then it's nice.
I love this scene. Just gonna pop in, and I like this building here. But I want to knock on the door. Is anyone inside? And then go into the interiors.
not currently yet. All that.
So people asking about stairs. Here's an exterior staircase. And how's your wood? That's good wood. That is good wood. I want to see the new packs with the PBR wood, but I'll take that wood to the bank. And your doorknob is proper. Is a proper model, not just
no, not.
This one?
Oh yes,
yeah, it is.
Yes, this one is. Yes. Now there's a few things that got a little teeny weeny upgrade from between interiors and exteriors, but that door's double-sided. So if you build the interiors, you don't have to use the flat doors from the interiors kit. You can use this door because it is double-sided.
We've got a question here. What games do you play?
Very few games. I buy games. Don't have time to play them. The Witcher, all the Elder Scrolls stuff. I bought Horizon Zero Dawn, Assassin's Creed, the latest one. That's really, really nice. I love Egyptian themes. It's one of my favorite. Definitely will be Egyptian-ish kind of packages in the future. It's just Stargate and all those things are just awesome.
I think my wife just woke up as soon as you started talking about ancient Egypt. My wife's a huge ancient Egypt fan. Especially the more historically accurate it is, the happier she is as well.
Yes. No, I love. Got plenty of books and DVDs and stuff on Egyptian stuff as reference.
I love it. Google was like, next pact, Egypt confirmed. Indeed. Have we just unexpectedly unleashed a little sneak peek?
The Egyptian stuff is really nice. I don't think the market is as big as basic medieval, like a Skyrim type thing, or like these packages you see here. But I'm definitely gonna produce Egyptian theme packs, Eastern, Persian, that kind of thing.
Well, that's the thing. Look at is it Quantum thingamajig? The one he did some poly stuff, but then he's also done his Rome pack, and
yes.
That Rome pack is beautiful. Kiwi Hawk's asking, can you make holes in terrain to make basements, etc. That's what we saw in the other scene. That he lowered the terrain, and then he's got the web demo showing how you can slide in the interior basement.
Yes, definitely.
Right, let's check out a Oh, I
The
love
windows are not separate pieces. You get different windows. You get in this scene you see all the yellowish ones.
Yep.
You get I'm just answering one of the questions there from a user. Then you've got they're part of the wall, but there's all the different wall configurations to snap in. You've got the green ones, and then you've got windows that's openable with actual window panes, the frames, like on the basement scene, that can flip open and close. So I've exported them with pivot points and everything and built them exactly with the right place. If you maybe don't mind opening up the basement scene again.
Yep. Let's pop over to the basement scene. This one here, yep.
Yes, the one you loaded up first. You grab one of those windows and check its pivot point out.
Oh.
I hope I did this. Yes, I'm sure if you jump up, you'll see the inside. Yeah, they're openable.
Nice.
Pivots and hinges are in the right place.
We got a hinge on these as well?
Yes. If your pivot setting is correct, then it will flip it on a hinge.
Nice. And here we've got the lowered terrain, so we've got the basement sitting in there as well that we can just slide in.
Yes. Yeah, we basically take the house, take all the house contents on the left, and you delete it or just hide it. You see this big giant square hole.
There you go. My house is gone. Someone's gone in at my house. Oh.
Yeah, so the interior's contents will fit in there exactly.
Oh wait, we lost you for a second there, buddy.
No, I'm just saying that the interior's contents will snap in and fit. If you put it in the right place, it will fit in that area.
Lovely. Let's
On the exteriors kit package, you've got all the demo scenes links there, and one of them is called Old Basement, and that actually includes the interiors and the exteriors kit, so you can run around this house, in and out, front, run down the stairs and the inside, run out the basement. I'm talking about the asset store page.
Yeah. I want to open up your castles examples. Well, which one should I do? I'm drawn between the castle. Let's do this one. Let's do this. Oh, hang on. Castle.
Those are just a couple of sample buildings just to show some kind of this, but it's really your imagination is where it stops, and
nice.
There's so many ideas that you can do.
So I can just put this window on anywhere that I want.
Yeah, those windows are loose.
Beautiful. Oh, and the corner pieces as well. Nice.
Yes. And again, working with a 2.5 by 2.5 by 3 modular size, so that you can build interiors that snap inside. So there is walls with doors with holes in the walls, so you can enter, and then you can run into the castle, run upstairs, and run out the door.
Oh, I've got ideas to be playing about with this. I've got ideas. Viking village. Everyone loves a Viking village.
There's a wall with a doorway in it that works. It's not just a snap-on.
Right. Oh, mate.
This one is all wooden, where the previous one was plaster.
Yeah.
That's with the 6 texture sets. There's old plaster, new plaster. There's vertical and horizontal wood, and then there's 2 stone textures. Here you can see stone on the ground floor, and wood above it.
That's pretty. I like that. I do love a stained glass window. Alright, let's go on an adventure. We got any chickens? We can put some AI chickens running around here. Take this opportunity to report that there is no door in the castle. There's no door to the castle. There is no door to the castle.
You can just use one of the walls that does have a door in it. I just obviously don't use one in that demo scene.
It's the basement. I can't wait to see what you're going to do in your new pack now. You know, he's trying to find a missing collider. I am actually trying to find a missing collider.
No, I'm trying to put them in case you review the packages. I've seen it's a pet peeve of yours to not find them, and you highlight it when you find them and to not be there.
I love that Mark knows me so well. There's like, he knows exactly what I'm bumping into stuff. If anyone ever sees
it makes sense.
bump into stuff.
To not put colliders is really unintelligent, because if you think about it, I do it once,
Yeah,
even if it takes a long time. Now I sell 100 of the package. I can save 100 people the time. So why must I not just do it once, take the effort, and at the end of the day, it'll be a good check on the checkbox of what's nice about the package. It's the fact that the work was done already.
Okay, but I'm gonna
worth
hook you up
doing.
with Mike from Cinti Studios, because he says that I managed to convince him. He said, like, you know, okay, it's something that they're gonna think about putting in, and I'm gonna get you to use your powers of persuasion to explain as an asset creator why he should be putting colliders on his stuff.
That's the whole thing. When you look at David Helgeson's idea when he speaks at the keynotes in the past, is the big thing about the asset store is the energy and the time is done and spent once, and after that everybody else buys time, and that's what you want to sell your customer. And I don't want somebody to open up the package and, as far as I can help, to not be irate and frustrated after several hours of doing tedious work, where I can do it once, I know the contents well, so I can do it fast and get it done with.
Exactly. I mean, that is the same mentality that I actually use at work as well. If don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to. If you can buy something off the shelf that does what you intended to do, and it's done by somebody who knows what they're doing, number one, as at the quality that is good enough that you can use. That's number two. B, has the ability to support you as a customer, not only of your questions but also for updates. That's number three. And is actually an expert in the field. So you've got somebody, you're taking advantage of those years of training, of knowledge, of experience, of support that they led to that point. Why are you going to sit and then do it yourself?
Yeah.
So if you can find someone who ticks all those boxes, you've basically just saved yourself a lot of time. And also the ROI on that, your time is money. The amount of time that it's going to cost you to do this, like for me to sit and make all of this, the amount of time I've just saved means I can now run off and do something else.
Yeah, and you're maybe going to do it once. Say, for instance, you do it once, and now you forget to export and keep yourself a version of the package with all the colliders, and then you lose or delete the data, and you're going to come back next time, and now you must redo it. That's going to be frustrating.
The funny thing is actually it's a lot easier for someone to remove colliders than it is to add them.
Yes, absolutely. No, you can remove them, and it's easy. But to accurately put them exactly where they're supposed to be, the guy that designed them knows where they're supposed to snap on and fit, like staircases and corners and stuff. You don't want the user to get stuck.
And we're not talking about mesh colliders of just chucking in a mesh collider and jobs are good. And because at the end of the day, the more complex a mesh, using a mesh collider is not really going to be that well optimized as well.
Yes.
So
no, for all the staircases and stuff, I make simple ramps and stuff, and just snap them on in the right place so they work well. Like that staircase there in front of you, you can just walk and it's walking smooth up a ramp.
Oh, Kiwi Hawk's saying that all this stuff would just import statics into the Unreal Engine marketplace, he thinks, and just to do new textures.
Yeah, no, that's definitely an option in future.
Yeah, mate, let's get you some of that Unreal money coming in as well. And that way you can use it to fund the development of your Egypt pack that you're going to give us.
That's a good idea.
And that's the cool thing. Like when you've got these popular, more mainstream assets that get a lot of the sales in, that puts money in people's back pocket for the asset creator. That allows them to work on the more niche product.
No, absolutely. If you've got something that you put out and you only sell a few, you're going to have to be fast and put out many of those. If you've got something like this one and the interiors kit that's selling for a long time really well, then it enables and free you up to be able to do it and do the free updates and stuff as well. If I can ask users, please, if they can star rate and possibly review the packages, any 3DForge contents that they have. Yeah, that's something that's really difficult to get sometimes. You get a small percentage. It's like 5%, and if you're lucky, like 10% of users will review stuff.
How much of a difference does that make?
If people read your reviews and they can see that it's honest reviews and not fake stuff, it really makes a big difference. I myself read reviews. I read a couple of reviews on a package just to get a general feel of what users feel about it. And I think people will pretty soon pick up if what they read is true and if it's honest, and specifically if there's lots. And people mustn't think you go and I can ask this for any publisher that you buy stuff from. If you buy stuff and you appreciate what you've purchased, and it's a small thing to do, but it goes a big way to assist publishers in creating more confidence in these products for other users, and it does make a difference. If you go onto a package and it has 5 reviews, or you go onto a package that has 200 reviews and the majority of them are good, it creates confidence, and it really helps us to get more sales.
We've got a question here from, I can't pronounce, Kifib. Basically
Okay.
hoping that Unity isn't taking too much money from you guys on their commission. Are you allowed to say how much the cut that Unity get for selling stuff on the asset stores?
No, it's 70%, and that's it. I've been asked. I'm actually busy uploading my stuff to CG Trader. They emailed me last week and asked if I would come join them. I'm going to start to put my packages there as well. They got a nice invite where they give you the first 3 months 100%, and after that 80%. So I'm uploading my stuff currently to their website.
So you with
I'll say no
Unity,
to that.
you're not under any kind of exclusivity deal, and if you like did an exclusivity, would they give you a better rate, or is it just that's it? You can
No, doesn't matter if they're long or short or popular or not popular. That's a 70% straight cut. I'm not too unhappy with it. It's without them being there and me being able to sell on the asset store, I wouldn't be able to do this today. So I'm not unhappy with them at all. They do their part, I think, as a big business. Lots of times we do kind of would love to have a slightly different relationship as if it's a smaller business, but I can understand as well. There's hundreds and thousands of publishers. You're going to need an army of staff if you want to have that kind of level of relationship with all your publishers. So yeah, I'm fine with what they charge, but obviously if I can place assets on other platforms and other places and can get a couple of more sales every month, it will make a difference.
We've got a question. What percentage of people leave a review? Are you able to like see? You can see how many sales you got compared to how many reviews are actually left on the store. And
I
by
would
that,
say
it's the
between 5 and
stars.
10%. 5 and 10%, maybe if you're lucky. That 5 or 8% is a good ratio.
But
If you can get
how many
that.
how many leave a star review compared to how many actually write something? So
Somebody's trying to figure out how many I sold.
like
I would
because
say
more
it's a
people would
5,
leave a
5 to
star, wouldn't they?
10%. It's easier and it's quicker. Writing a review takes a bit of time, and you don't just want to write a review and waffle because then it looks like not a good review. So people much easier leave a star. That's why I ask as well. So people don't have the time to at least leave a star rating. But if they've got the time, I really appreciate reviews as well.
I have to say I'm guilty of that. I've many times I'll just go boom, click a star, and go. I'm going to come back later and do it. I've been told don't stop doing parkour. I'm trying to see if I can climb up all the buildings because it's an exterior pit. We were talking about Assassin's
Oh,
Creed.
there's a collider there.
I haven't missed a collider yet. There's colliders all over the place. I'm very happy.
And I many times have mesh colliders, and I do understand that they're more expensive, but my meshes are actually really, really low poly and simple. So it's not like these hectic, expensive, complex meshes. But I try to use basic shapes. I mean, like these roofs you're standing on now. That's just a box collider on that. So I try to keep it simple where I can.
Yeah, it works, and I love this building that I'm looking at here. I've stopped jumping about so people stop getting more motion sickness, but I love what you've got here. That it actually really does feel in place at this medieval style. So you've got this, and you do have good wood. Obviously, the textures, compared to the modern ultra high res textures, there is a difference, but I love it. I mean,
It's
I
yeah,
like.
for me the big thing is I don't want to be a bottleneck in your project. I do understand things go forward, and that's like saying the next projects you'll have different quality of textures. But at the time these was released and doing updates for them, I can't just jump and go and do super duper high resolution textures, and then the interiors is not, and it's not going to fit together. I don't want to be a bottleneck. I don't want to by the end of your project be things running slow, or you can have a small footprint of hardware that can actually play the things because you wanted to put more than a certain amount of buildings in. I want you to be able to put many buildings down and enjoy it and have as much freedom as you can and not be hogged down by hardware requirements.
We've There's one question. We're talking about the reviews on the asset store, and one thing that I've noticed is that because VR Game Zone, who was a winner by the way, congratulations again, VR Game Zone, you won yourself. What did you win? You won UMMO 2. That was it, wasn't it? You won the massive UMMO 2. Well done, buddy. Well done for that. You're saying about how many people leave a negative review, the people who aren't happy won't leave a review. But actually, what I've noticed is that people tend to leave a negative review as a way of getting customer support. So there'll be a bug or something with the asset, or maybe they didn't understand or they used it incorrectly. And then they'll leave a negative review and there'll just be like a customer support complaint. And that tends to happen.
It's a difficult thing. It's really difficult because I never ever want to fight with a customer or cause an argument. I want you to be happy. I want you to come back tomorrow, next week, next month, and buy something else. You cannot just look for new customers the whole time. You have to build a customer base with as good as you can support. But it's really difficult because lots of customers are, well, sometimes, not, I don't want to say lots of customers, I say sometimes you do get a bad review and the person did not use the proper support channels. And it's sad because it leaves a negative there. Very, very seldom will they actually come back and change that review, even though they might have been helped and got the answer by the reply. And it's a difficult thing because you want to help the person, but you don't want to give the customer support kind of reply in the review, because then you're teaching users that, cool, this is the support section. And you don't want to do that. You want to try to keep a balance between, hi, please visit the normal customer things, please email me something. And unfortunately, seldom they come back and change the review, and you're stuck with that little bit of negative there. But that's part of the asset store as well.
So you even found that people who you've gone back and given the support won't go back and change their negative review?
Sometimes you get your best reviews from that because the customer feels really happy for the personal attention. But other times, I presume the person just get busy. I don't think it's done because they're nasty or trying to be nasty or anything. They just get too busy and they carry on. And then you can't communicate with the person because he might not have emailed you. You gave him the answer and the support. He goes back and he does this or does that or clicks something and realize, oh, this was the mistake I made, and he carries on working, never to come back to change the review. And then you're stuck with it.
That sucks.
And does suck a bit sometimes. But that's it's part of the package. Can't change that.
Oh, hang on. This looks pretty. Maybe
this is just the curb stones. This was to show the curb stones. These wagons are something that I think is undiscovered because they all built in loose little pieces. They pivot and hinge and everything in the correct places.
Oh, that's...
The wheels, the axles, the everything. Not just the axles, the front that you can hitch horses to. If you look at Horse Animation Pro from Malbus,
yep,
all of his stuff, he's used my carriages and stuff as well as part of his demos. And you can just go in the route, just go one up,
yep.
and you can swivel. Then that's the part of the thing that can swivel, and all the child objects underneath it. If you look at the wagon,
I want it. I'm going to play about.
I'm just saying everything is child and parent objects properly, so that you can actually use them, and they will function as real wagons.
Buddy, thank you for coming in and showing it.
My pleasure. Thanks, man. Thanks for the opportunity to share with you.
Thanks for answering all these questions and giving us an insight. It's been very informative. Has been.
Thanks for all the users that's here.
Okay, everyone, that's it for another Game Dev interview. Many thanks to 3DForge for coming out and giving us away assets to give away for free in a raffle. And if you do like these videos and you want to see more of them, do click on that big, juicy red subscribe button down below. Tell all your friends, tell all your neighbours. Go over to Twitter, www.twitter.com/themessycoder. And also, don't forget to come over to Twitch, have a play about. If you want to know how to support us, you can always pop over to Twitch, click subscribe. It's the price of a coffee a month. It's just $5 a month to subscribe to Twitch and help support the channel. And remember, if you do like it, click it. Till next time. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now.
And down below there's that big juicy subscribe button, and right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.